Ferrada's known to have some really out there and wild wheel designs when it comes to the big aftermarket wheel game. One of those designs, and probably one of the more unique designs that they have, is this one in this box right here. This is the Ferrada FR11, and today on Martini Works Unbox, we're gonna be doing just that. We're gonna be unboxing this thing because that's what we do over here. We go ahead and take a look at all the products that we offer on our website when we can and give you guys and gals a look at what you can expect if you go ahead and pick up these wheels, the tires, the suspension, the performance parts, whatever it is that you're looking at up for yourself so you know exactly what you're getting so you can make a confident purchase the next time you're looking for something for your car. I'm getting ahead of myself and I'm taking everything off before I even get it out of the box because I'm actually kind of excited to look at this one. So here we have one of the Forge 8 line of wheels from Ferrada. And we've taken a look at plenty of wheels from Ferrada here on the Unbox channel, but this one is going to be from their Forge 8 line, which means that this is a rotary forged wheel. So we're going to go ahead, get this out of the way here. So this again, like the other ones that we've taken a look at, is a 20 by 12 size. The FR11, let's go ahead and take a look at it. So as you can see, we have the brushed bronze finish here, which is personally one of my favorite finishes that Ferrada offers in their Forge 8 lineup. They have, I believe, 3 different finishes that they offer, the brushed bronze being one of them. They have an obsidian black, which is a gloss black. They actually have a really cool storm gray, which is like a gloss, I don't want to say nardo gray, but it's kind of like that kind of style gray as well. But this brushed bronze finish is by far my favorite because it just looks super clean. So we're gonna go ahead and get all the packaging off of here, which I do appreciate that they package these wheels up actually really nice to protect it from any damages during shipping. Make sure that your wheels get there safe and sound. So here we go. This is the FR11 from Ferrada. As you can see, pretty busy wheel design going on here. We have a very interesting spoke design. We have an absolute ton of windows and cutouts in the actual face of the wheel itself, not only near the end of the spokes, but within the spokes too. Something that you don't really see a lot of when it comes to a single piece cast or rotary forged wheel. Typically they keep it pretty safe just because this type of design tends to lead to a lot of post-processing after the mold is completed. You notice too, since we do have a pretty big wheel here, again, a 20 by 12, we do tend to get a lot of concavity. That's something that Ferrada is known for. They love their concavity in their wheels. They actually have a whole line of wheels dedicated for that. They labeled it Concave Madness, their CM lineup. So if you want something super, super deep, even with a little bit of lip on it or a lot of concavity, I'd recommend go checking out those wheels. But if you want something that's actually rotary forged, you want something where the spokes go all the way to the outside of the lip, the Forge 8 lineup is where you're gonna wanna stick. As of right now, these wheels are offered in both a 20 and 22 inch diameter for a lot of the newer vehicles coming off the line with some pretty big wheels on there. And with that, we typically see some pretty big brakes as well. Now, Ferrada has gone ahead and made sure that their wheels do clear all those big brakes that our cars are coming with. Make sure you're not gonna run into any issues. And we get asked quite a bit, hey, I'm looking for some aftermarket wheels. The biggest thing is like, I got some big old brakes on here. You're not gonna have to worry about that with the Ferrada lineup. They make sure that they're gonna clear a lot of those calipers and a lot of those rotors and even a lot of aftermarket stuff as well. Now, when it comes to sizes, they also do a pretty good job in making specific sizes that they know are gonna work for the vehicles that they're targeting. Again, a lot of newer, I don't wanna say like higher end vehicles, but vehicles like your BMWs, like your M cars, your Audi, your S-lines, things like that, that are gonna take these big wheels, the 20-inch wheels, 22-inch wheels that these are going on. So width-wise, we are looking pretty specific between 8.5 and 12 inches in width, again, falling between those 20 and 22-inch diameters. Bolt pattern, pretty much everything under the sun in the 5-lug option, 5x112, 5x114.3, 5x115 for the domestic muscle stuff, 5x120, of course, for the Euro stuff, 5x127, which is a bit of an odd one. But if you convert that to US numbers, it's basically a 5x5, so some Jeep options and things like that. And of course, we have 5x130 for some of the Porsche stuff. Now, we chose to show the 20 by 12 here because it does offer the most concavity when it comes to the width and offset and things like that. And we think that when you have a wheel with this amount of concavity, you want to show that because it looks really good and it really kind of accentuates the design itself. It adds the most amount of design elements to a wheel. Now, we said that because that's what a lot of brands do, and it's what a lot of brands showcase when it comes to their wheel designs. But I think it's important thing to know that when these wheels come in such a wide variety of sizes, we're talking from an 8.5-inch width up to a 12-inch width, that is a really good difference in size. So when we compare that to this 20 by 8.5 of the same wheel model, you can definitely see the difference, not only in concavity, but just the overall look that it gives the wheel. So this is still an FR11 in a much smaller size width-wise, and you can just kind of see the difference that you're getting there. So unfortunately, when it comes to aftermarket wheels, when you're buying them, and a lot of vehicles out there, they're not gonna be taking a 20 by 12 most of the time. I would say more times than not, you're gonna be going with something like a 20 by 8.5, 20 by 9, maybe a 20 by 10, and more times than not, you're gonna be ending up with a bit of a flatter face because of that. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just something you should know, because you're probably gonna see these all over the place and thinking that's what you're gonna get. And then when your wheels show up for your 20 by 9s or something like that, they're gonna look like this, and you're like, what the heck happened to my wheels? It's just an important thing that we want to showcase, because width and offset makes such a difference when it comes to the overall look and style of wheels. Now, Ferrada does this thing where for each size of their wheels, they have a separate mold. That's so they can make wheels like this with a ton of concavity. Some brands would go out there and say, hey, we have a 20-inch mold. We're going to flow form it out. We're going to rotary forge it out. So we're just going to take the same mold and then just stretch the barrel out to whatever width we want. So you end up with some big wheels like a 20 by 10, 20 by 11, 20 by 12 in some cases, where the face is the same as some of these lower width wheels. So you don't get that concavity. You don't get as much design to it. But Ferrada makes sure that they go through and make separate molds for each of their sizes, so you get as much concavity as you can out of each size. Now, of course, we got to finish off the overall look of this wheel, which we're going to do with our nice center cap here. So the center caps do come with the wheels, which is always a good thing. I lost my knife. So all Ferrada wheels do come with included center caps, which is always the nice final touch for wheels. And I honestly do enjoy the look of the Ferrada center caps. I think they do a really good job. They make sure they always match the color with the face of the wheel. So we have the brushed bronze finish. We get a brushed bronze center cap. Now these are all metal center caps. They're actually two pieces of metal riveted together, and they fit in pretty snug. They are kind of a pain in the butt to get in sometimes if you don't line them up exactly, but once you get them in there, they are in there. You don't have to worry about them going anywhere. So we're gonna go ahead and pop this in. My best tip for these, just get it as flat as you can. You don't wanna try to push one side in before the other, because then it'll just kind of get pinched. Now this is gonna sound a little aggressive, like that. And there you have it, your finished look for your wheel. And I think these center caps do add so much to the overall final look of the wheel. You get just that nice contrast in color with the Ferrada logo. And the rest of the center cap isn't taking away too much from the rest of the design. It's not trying to stand out. It's a nice flat cap. It's not protruding from the rest of the wheel. It just kind of fits in with everything and flows really nice. Now, I mentioned that these are rotary forged wheels. If you take a look at some of the other wheels from the Ferrada lineup, specifically the Concave Madness, the CMs, those are just regular low pressure cast wheels. Now, rotary forged takes that process a little bit further. It doesn't use as much material because they go ahead and forge out the rest of the barrel instead of just filling up a mold with molten aluminum. Now what that does is not only adds some strength to the barrel, but it does help save on a little bit of weight. Again, we're talking about a big wheel here, 20 by 12. It's gonna weigh, a good amount. Now, and with that as well, they did take some attention to detail and go through the back side of the spokes here and mill out some of the back side of the spokes, even around the hub, just to kind of save a little bit more. Now, you're not gonna save a ton of weight. These aren't gonna be super light by any means. I wouldn't consider these lightweight wheels, but it does help just a little bit. And when it comes to unsprung weight like that, even that little amount does actually change quite a bit. So we're gonna go ahead and see what these things weigh, because we go ahead and weigh all of our wheels here. Let's go get ahead and get a weight on the 20 by 12 Ferrada FR11. So this is actually the lightest wheel from Ferrada that we've actually weighed on here, 29.9. So actually under 30 pounds just for the FR11, which is always nice. Again, not the most lightweight wheel out there, but when we're talking about a 20 by 12, that rotary forging process definitely does help. So with all that being said, if you've fallen in love with this wheel, you like what you're seeing with the Ferrada FR11, you can check this wheel out along with all the other Ferrada wheels or anything else in that category over at martiniworks.com. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the Unbox channel yet, please make sure to do so we know that you guys and gals are liking what you're seeing on this channel, so we'll keep doing it and showcasing some products to you so you know what you're going to be getting the next time you buy some car parts. And of course, if you're looking for car parts, make sure to check them out over at martiniworks.com. We got to go get these things all packaged back up so we can sell them. We'll see you later.